Ananta Krishna ki jai, Maishya ki jai. Jai Vishnu Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shabita Gridhar, Shivaji Gola Bhaktavinda ki jai, Granta Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Gonita ki jai, Shri Shivara Madhava ki jai, Sitam Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhara ki jai, Gokumanandi Haribo, all great to assemble the world. All great to assemble the world. All great to assemble the world. All great to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Good morning and Hare Krishna, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Today is our beautiful day in Tucson. Sunny day, sunny day. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 30, Test 23. The activities of the Prashitas. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Namaskritya Naram Chiva Nautamam Devim Savati Vyasam Tato Jayat Mudidayat Nastapaya Shabadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavatamashloke Bhakti Bhati Nastiki. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very man of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the personality of God in Narayan and to Narayan Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in class on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service of the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of God, whose praise we transcend into song, is established as an irrevocable fact. Oh, Kumanande, Haribo. Again, Canto 4, Chapter 30, Test 30, the activity of the Prashitas. Suntaya Santaya Nama. How to do that? Okay. Sutaya Sataya Nama Swanistaya Manashapatam Bilalashatvayaya Namo Jagat Stanam Layo Daishu Gita Maya Guna Vigaya Sudaya Santayam Namam Swami Saya Manasya Patam Vilashatgaya Namo Jagat Stanam Layo Dahisho Gita Maya Guna Vigaya Sudayo Satayam Namam Swam Nistaya Manashapatam Vilashatvayaya Namo Jagat Stanam Layodayisho Vihita Maya Guna Vigrahaya. Please.
Sudaya Shantaya Namaswanishtaya
Sudaya Shantaya Namaswanishtaya
Manasya Patam Vilasadvayaya Namo Jagatstana Layodayeshu Vitamaya Guna Vigrahaya
Sudhaya Shantaya Namaswanishtaya Manasya Partam Vilasadvayaya Namo Jagatstana Layodayeshu Vitamaya Guna Vigrahaya
Sudaya unto the unadulterated Santaya unto the most peaceful Namaha we offer our obeisances Swanistaya by being situated in one's position Manasi in the mind Apatam without any meaning Vilasat appearing Dvayaya in whom the door rolled Namaha obeisances Jagat of the cosmic manifestation Sthana maintenance Laya annihilation annihilation Udayeshu and for creation Grihita accepted Maya material Guna of the goddess of nature Vigahaya the forms. Translation and purpose by Zibengal Srila Prabhupada Ki. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai. Dear Lord, we beg to offer our obeisance unto you. When the mind is fixed upon you, the world of duality, also a place for material enjoyment, appear meaningless. Your transcendental form is full of transcendental bliss. We therefore offer our respect unto you. Your appearances as Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva are meant for the purpose of creating, maintaining, and annihilating this cosmic manifestation. Repeat after me. Dear Lord, we beg to offer our obeisance unto you. When the mind is fixed upon you, the world of duality, also a place for material enjoyment, appears meaningless. Your transcendental form is full of transcendental bliss. We therefore offer our respect unto you. Your appearance as Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva are meant for the purpose of creating,
Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva are meant for the purpose
maintaining and annihilating this cosmic manifestation.
Maintaining and annihilating this cosmic manifestation.
A pure devotee whose mind is always engaged in the service of the Lord can certainly appreciate the impermanence of this material world. Although such a devotee may be engaged in executing material activities, this stage is called anashakti. As explained by Srila Rupa Goswami, anashaktasya vishayan yata tam yupa yujataha. The devotee is always attached to material activity because in the liberate stage of his mind is always fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. His material world is called Advaita, the world of duality. The devotee knows very well that everything within this material world is but a manifestation of the Supreme Lord's energy. To maintain the three modes of material nature, the Supreme Lord take a different form as Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, okay. And affected by the mode of material nature, the Lord take on different form to create, maintain, and annihilate this cosmic manifestation. The conclusion is that although the pure devotee appear to engage in material activity in the service of the Lord, he knows very well that the material enjoyment for sense gratification has no use whatever. That's a nice purport.
Yes.
Sorry to put my Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Paseptele Sumate Bhakti Tita Swachaname Namaste Krishna Padaya Papada Shtatmani Shiva Gauna Shakti Namah Vishnu Krishna Paseptele Sumate Bhakti Vedanta Swachaname Namaste Krishna Devi Golavani Pachayani Nidasa Shunyavadi Paska Sadisatari. A pure devotee whose mind is always engaged in the service of the Lord can certainly appreciate the impermanence of this material world. Srila Prabhupada was a good example in this age who came in the Western world to prove us really the devotee can use everything in this material world, but would that be affected? Because you know why? I give you the example of Srila Prabhupada. A pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada is physically in this material world, but is not part of this material world. So actually, he used everything he have used, everything, Krishna offered him, all his disciples offered him. He was not affected by it because he was not part of this world. But when we are part of this world, we identify ourselves to the body, to the mind, to the senses. So everything we're going to use this material, we're going to be affected by it. It's by become aloof. Aloof. I love this word. By become aloof with this material world, we attain happiness, and we can just play with this material world like jungling, by the grace of Shiva, by the grace of Krishna. But if we're not expert how to use the weapon, that is like, for example, a person who do martial art. He's using very dangerous weapon, nunchak, sword, everything. But if he don't know, if he is not trained by a teacher, so he going to hurt himself. The same thing, if we're not trained to become a pure devotee, we're going to be affected by all the adoration, a devotee give to us. We're going to be affected. We'll be very, very intoxicated. So we have to be careful. This material world is dangerous. It's very dangerous. Why is dangerous? Because when we try to be the doer, when we try to think everything is surrendered to me, I'm the master. I can no. If we was the master, if everything was surrendered unto us, why we have to take birth again because of our karma? Why? Because we are surrendered. We don't know how to use this matter energy. This matter energy belong to Krishna. So if we try to use it for our own sense gratification, we're going to get hurt. So if we're using wisely, if we use it wisely, like Srila Prabhupada did, we'll never be affected. A devotee can have everything, but a pure devotee, I don't mean a regular devotee, a pure devotee can have everything. Like Srila Prabhupada was offered so much thing when he came to America. He could be affected because he was come from India. In India, there's not all this opulence like in America. Srila Prabhupada was not affected. Only a pure devotee can, especially come from in the Eastern world. Srila Prabhupada was not affected by that. He used all these gift, all his goodies, his disciple offer him for the service of Krishna. And he ended up victorious. This is a good example for us. Because in the future, we will be in this position. And like Srila Prabhupada, we will have a lot of disciple adoration, everything. So we have to be prepared. We have to be careful not to be intoxicated, not to become under the influence of Maya, because we're going to get hurt. That's the reason so many leaders who they fall down because they don't follow Srila Prabhupada's example. Yeah, follow Srila Prabhupada's example. Srila Prabhupada, he had all his adoration, but he was not affected by it. So Srila Prabhupada, like it's a devotee, a pure devotee, even us also, we are in this material world physically, but we're not part of this world. We're not part of it. So same thing, everything we're going to have in our life as a devotee, we should not be entangling by it because we don't belong to this material world. It's bad. We don't belong and nothing, we don't belong to this material and nothing belongs to us. That's right. So Srila Prabhupada was a good example to us. Okay? I'm so glad to give a nice comment about that because it's very beautiful. A pure devotee whose mind is always engaged in the service of the Lord can certainly appreciate the impermanence of this material world because it's not affected. Although such a devotee may be engaged in executing material activities, this stage is called Anasakti, as explained by Srila Upa Goswami. Anasakti Visharam Yataram Upayuchataha. The devotee is always attached to material activities because in the liberated stage, his mind is always fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. It is the mind. That's the mind causes us to be entangled in this material world. Like the book says, like Srila Prabhupada said, your mind can become a nice tool, your best friend, if you make him become your friend. But how to make him become your friend is not by giving sense gratification. It's by putting under the influence of the holy name, chanting Hare Krishna all the time. giving some practice, giving some training. Wake up in the morning, even you don't feel good, even it's cold, even, all these, so they call tapasya. Wake up in the morning, in the winter time, and summer kind of easy. But in winter time, here is not even cold. It's in New York and Detroit. So when I used to live in Detroit, I have to go take a shower, of course, and go out in the cold, in the snow, go to the temple. This is the real tapasya. Here is tapasya too, but it's, we are spoiled here. We have this nice weather. So when you wake up in the morning in this cold weather, even physically you don't feel good. Your mind, your body, everything, but you force your mind. Your mind, it gets scared of you, or it surrender to you. And it become your kids. It's like the mind is like a kid. It's like kid, If you don't educate your kids, if you don't educate the mind, your mind going to embarrass you. The mind going to embarrass you in front of everybody. Like some kids, if you don't give your kids, education, teach the kids manners, this is going to be a cause of embarrassment for the family. So it's the same thing. The mind can be a cause of embarrassment to us if we can control the mind. See, the Papa says that your mind become your best friend, as it can become your worst enemy if you making it become your sense gratification body. It's my body. No, we can make the mind our friend if it's not under the control of the Mahamanta. The mind is the rascal. So so many people don't know French, but mind in English, and in French, mental. So the French devotees say mental, mind, menteur, liar. The mind is a liar. If you don't teaching about the holy name, you don't put it under the influence of the energy, the spiritual energy, it begin to fool you, begin to lie to you. My menteur, mental menteur in French, mental menteur, mean mind, mental, and menteur, liar. So, but it's different in English, But in French, it's some better. Mental menteur, mind, liar. So it's very important to control the mind, because the mind can be a nice weapon for us to go back to Krishna. The mind can be a good weapon to us when we go outside to preach to people. It can become our good friend. Just make him become your good friend. That is the cause people suffering. That's the cause of suffering in this material world, because people believe the mind. They surrender to the mind. Mind, Maya. Another thing too, mind, Maya. The mind is not controlled, is Maya. Mind, menteur, mental, menteur, everything. And so the thing, there's so much allergy. So the thing, our mind can be a very good friend, but we have to keep it as it is. How to make him become a good friend is by making under the influence of the holy name. Chanting Hare Krishna, wake up in this cold weather, take cold shower, not me, I'm taking hot shower anyway. Go. When I joined the movement, when I was your age, I was 22, 21, I used to take cold shower in the winter. Now, shower. Because when you're young, you're very hyper, like Kitaneshwar, very hyper. But I'm getting old now. The cold weather. The cold water again the cold water again to cause your heart attacks. So you have to know how to do it. You have to do some breathing. but I'm not here for this kind of tapasya. So, yeah. So the mind is can be a good friend. So we have to listen. We have to making surrender to the holy name and have a sadhana bhakti. Another thing too is good for to control the mind. Having a sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means wake up in the morning, take a shower, put a tilak, come home on Golati, study the book, devotee association, listen to Srila Prabhupada class, listen to class, they push them together and go for preaching. That's the Sanat Bhakti. In the nighttime, Krishna book is like a sandwich. A sandwich in the morning, at the end, Sanat Bhakti is like a sandwich. So the mind, you put the mind between the box, the sandwich. I can go nowhere. That's it. That's what we have to do for the mind. Sanana Bhakti, Sanana Bhakti is very important, so we can get away from that. This material world is called Dvaita. Always say Advaita. This material world is called Dvaita, the world of duality. The devotee knows very well that everything within this material world is but a manifestation of the Supreme Lord's energy. This material world is called Dvaita, the world of duality. Yes, it's the world of duality. And the devotee knows very well that everything within this material world is but a manifestation of the Supreme Lord. Yes, the devotee, we know this material world is not our home. Is because the Western is not our home, is a world of duality, and this is not the nature of the soul. The soul comes from the highest place, Guru Kavindavan. So we're not supposed to be in this material world, in this world of duality. We're supposed to be aloof, beyond it. So, but Srila Prabhupada, by his mercy, he came to bring the tool, all the prescription, how to not be part of this world. He bring the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Prasadam, deity worship, the books, everything, devotee association. He bring everything for us. So this way, we're not controlled by this force energy. You know, like Srila Prabhupada says, this material is real, is real because Krishna is real. Okay, he's the one who created. But is an illusion. It's like a dream. It's an illusion. We dream, in this material world. For example, you have a dream. Everybody heard about that. You're dreaming you're living in a palace, in a nice, beautiful, you got a beautiful body, everything. So you identify yourself. We get so much identified as this dream, and we forget even the physical body in the, So and so when you have a dream like that, that means you are an illusion. The same thing in this material world, we identify ourselves by so much false identification. I am white, I am black, I am Indian, I am the world of I am. But we are none of that. It's just like a dream. And when we die, or no, I will not say even better. When we develop a spiritual consciousness, that's where we wake up from our dream, physical dream. From our physical dream. It's like a dream. When you wake up, and you say, oh my God, that was just a dream. It's like, so that's why, that's the reason they call that, wake up. Knowledge, wisdom is wake up. So when you wake up from your dream, it's like it's like you develop your right consciousness. So by becoming a devotee, we develop our right consciousness by thinking we are this body. You understand what I mean? We develop our right consciousness by thinking, oh my God, oh, I'm not this body, because I was thinking when death comes, death take everything away. And another thing to put it together, it take everything away and leave you without nothing. But the only thing death cannot take is bhakti. If we develop bhakti, and also wisdom can free you, but ignorance can trap you. Is that ignorance can when you have when you are in a mode of ignorance, you are completely in ignorance. You're sleeping. But when you develop wisdom, knowledge, that's where you wake up. You wake up from your dream, from your lie. This life, or like a dream, is a lie. Is a lie. Yeah, it's a big lie. So we have to get out from this lie and get to the truth. See, this is the truth. This is the truth. By study, by listening to all of Krishna Katha, we develop the truth. We get out from this world of lie. So people living a world of lie. So that's why when Srila Prabhupada came to the Western world to wake up, the Western world was in such an opulence lie, But it's a lie, but we can use this lie to make him become truthful, to make him become truth. So we can use everything in Krishna service. A devotee, like you explained here, a devotee is not affecting. He used everything for the service of Krishna. We're using everything for the service of Krishna, we will be victorious. But we're using everything for our own pleasure, we will suffer. We will suffer and come back again. And the sufferings never end. Never end. Who want to live in this material world infinitely? And by identifying yourself, this matter? Nobody. So get out from this illusion by thinking we are the doer. Krishna is the doer. Yeah? Oh, I finished to read all the purpose. So I'm very excited to give such a nice purpose after Srila Prabhupada, because I'm sorry. So when from Srila Prabhupada purpose, we realize, especially me, when we preach, we preach for ourselves. We preach for ourselves. So that's why we realize, really, oh my God, Srila Prabhupada teaching is very deep. Srila Prabhupada actually was a live Srimad Bhagavatam. All the time we read the Srila Prabhupada teaching, is always new. All the time I listen to Srila Prabhupada class, I never heard that before. People can say, because you forget Gaura, you forget a lot. No, Srila Prabhupada teaching is eternal. It's always new, it's refreshing. The books also. So Srila Prabhupada bring all this beautiful treasure for us. So how can we not cherish it? How can we not welcome it, live it? This is the medicine. Srila Prabhupada bring the medicine. We can describe it in many ways. Srila Prabhupada bring the key of this material world to get out from this prison. Srila Prabhupada bring the medicine. The medicine is to devotee association, chanting Hare Krishna, study the book, eating pushadam. Pushadam. Who do not like pushadam? Yeah. So no, it's still 8:44. But anyway, and so we have to live this beautiful philosophy with a lot of enthusiasm because Krishna. The more we practice Krishna consciousness, the more we see the beauty. The more we get off from this bodily attachment, bodily sufferings, the more. So I don't like to talk about that because the worst person say, I don't like to talk about people about my sufferings. I don't like to talk about, oh, I get persecuted. Forget that. Please leave me alone with that. I am not, what is that? I'm not macho, but when you talk about your physical problem, people say, oh, he's a crying baby. No. Better keep it for yourself and just offer the prayer to Krishna. Only Krishna will understand you. Krishna will not make fun of you. Because some people, I don't talk about devotee, maybe, but they say, oh, because you commit offenses, is how I get that. This is nonsense, So we have to stop this kind of thing because sickness can get anybody, even a pure devotee. It's not offenses. So we have to be conscious. We are not untouchable. Only Krishna. Only Krishna is not affected by all these things going on. But we all going to go there. So we have to quit pointing finger at this person. Oh, you commit offenses. So why you get that? No. We have to stop that. Because me, I get that. That don't take my happiness away. I'm still happy. I'm still very happy. I'm still happy. So happy. That's it.
Very sweet, Prabhu. Very sweet class. Made a lot of nice points. Very nice how you just went through the purport. It's a really good class. You made a few nice points. Two comments I have. One comment is, I like what you said. You said, oh, for the devotee, but then you said, no, for the pure devotee. They're not affected by the mode because, we were thinking, the demigods are devotees. Lord Indra's a devotee and Agni and all the demigods are devotees, but we find that they have so much suffering and the same type of suffering that we're having. They're suffering with their, the heavenly damsels. There's so many challenges up there, but they're devotees. So, Prabhupada's trying to give us pure devotional service. And, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we as followers of Prabhupada are trying to develop pure devotional service. We're not trying to be like the demigods and have a little on the side, so to speak, a little material energy on the side. No, we want pure devotional service. And so if that's what we're asking for, we should expect to get it. And that's going to mean getting a few hard knocks here and there. Second point you made that I liked was you said, let me see here. Well, actually, this is a third one, but I'll remember the second one in a second. So then you said, that, we shouldn't think that, if someone thinks that some devotee is suffering due to offenses, this is a big offense on their part, actually, because Rupa Goswami explains that if a devotee's body is having some suffering, if you consider them anything but a pure devotee or not spiritual, then you're making an offense. Just like we have so many devotees in our movement, like Jayapataka Swami, and so many devotees who are suffering men's physical ills.
Because of offenses? No. Because, so we have two.
So, anyways, that's all. And anyways, in any case, even if it is offenses that we suffer, that's still Krishna's mercy. That a devotee suffers is always Krishna's mercy. Right. If we suffer for our offenses, that's Krishna's mercy too.
Yeah. So
that's a nice point. And also you mentioned this point that we're not this body. And, I've been meditating lately on this element of how, like we're not black, we're not white, we're not male, we're not female. We say that so much, but we often forget to say, like we identify with our anarthas so deeply, I'm lusty, I'm envious, I'm, this or that. We say like that, but actually we're not, because we're the soul. We're not envious. We're not lusty. No. We're not full of greed. We're pure souls. And so we identify with the mind. The mind is lusty. The mind is always lusty. The mind is always envious. The mind is always angry. And we identify with that, but we're not that. And so I think it's a big, challenge that devotees identify with their anarthas. And we're actually servants of Krishna. And our real desire is to serve Krishna. So those were really nice points. It was a really sweet class. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, sir. And another reason we suffer also is because we identify ourselves about this body. That is, Papa says that when you identify yourself as this body, you suffer. But you no longer identify yourself. That means you develop knowledge. So they say knowledge can free you. A lack of knowledge can cause us suffering. So we develop knowledge so we are free from the suffering. So we're no longer part of this world because we don't identify ourselves. By identifying yourself, you're suffering. So we should stop identifying ourselves like, I'm this body. No, we are none of that. So.
Yeah, I liked how you repeatedly kept mentioning, the mind is a liar. What is it in French again?
Mind, mental in French, mind, and a liar, menteur.
Okay, yeah.
Mental, menteur.
Yeah, the mind, liar. Yeah, I love that. And
That's a shirt right there.
yeah, absolutely. Because like you were saying, and like Kirtaneshwar Prabhu was saying, is our mind is constantly telling us things that are not true, right?
Yeah.
And then the other point I really liked was when you were talking about Srila Prabhupada and just how grateful we should be, that we have this knowledge and all these books and everything. And I think sometimes I've seen this tendency of, some people to try to tear that down, right? And try to say, oh, well, these things are mistranslated or this, and that, and they're, publishing books about this. But what is really their goal? Their goal is to tear something down. Their goal is to not, if their goal was to bring people closer to Krishna, they wouldn't be doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But their goal is not. They want to tear something down. And so I think sometimes people get caught up in those things, and it's very easy to see, judge a tree by its fruits, right? Srila Prabhupada has caused so many people that never would have been worshiping Krishna to participate in some way in serving Krishna, and so I think that's very important to keep that in mind. So,
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comment.
I was also, thinking about, the mind being, like an enemy or whatever. But, when we're connected with Krishna and we're chanting and Krishna's holy name and just everything we do and seeing Krishna everywhere, then the mind is not really attacking us anymore because we're absorbed with Krishna. So that's where our mind becomes our best friend, or is it just that Krishna is our best friend and the mind is, at bay somewhere? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Thank you for your comment. But the mind, long we are in this material world, so we begin to always have the mind. So even we are devotee, but in the mind, all the time following us to see really, because the mind is like Maya, to see really if we detach, to see really if we are, if we choosing Krishna. So we're always going to be, they say in French, baloté. They say that in English. Baloté means like a ball, So the mind all the time going to try to test to see really if you really if we are attached to Krishna, because we always going to live with this mind. It's like a cancer. We all born with a cancer. We all born with the mind. So the mind is always going to get you. But thank you for your comment. Thank you.
So that some people think that the devotee doesn't have, the mind is always a rascal. Prabhupada said we should always be expert at disobeying him because he's a rascal. Yeah. And so the mind wants all kinds of crazy stuff. No matter even if you're a pure devotee, there's one story how one devotee was going to take sannyas. And Prabhupada said, Prabhupada was really grooming him for sannyas. Prabhupada wanted him to take sannyas. And he went to go officially, tell Prabhupada he's going to take sannyas. And when he went to Prabhupada, Prabhupada's servant said, what do you need to see Prabhupada for? And he said, I need to talk to Prabhupada. Servant said, about what? He said, I'm going to take sannyas. And then the servant said, you really think you're ready for sannyas? You really think that you really think you have what it takes to take sannyas? The servant said, you don't ever think of sex? And then he said, well, I guess, sometimes, and he said, well, then you shouldn't take sannyas. And so then the boy left. And then he came back and he said, Prabhupada, I think I should get married. And Prabhupada said, what happened to you? What happened to you? Prabhupada was very angry. He said, I thought you were going to take sannyas. What happened? And then Prabhupada said, well, so-and-so told me that if I think of sex, I should get married. And Prabhupada looked at him, he said, how dare you tell my brahmachari to get married? Who do you think you are telling my brahmacharis to get married? Prabhupada said, everybody in this material world thinks of sex. What's wrong with you? You don't know anything. So Prabhupada was very upset. And Prabhupada said, that's not the qualification, that the mind is always thinking all kinds of crazy stuff, but we become expert at disobeying the mind. We become detached from it, and then we control it in time. So I was thinking, just one last story is Ganganath Prabhu, our very dearly beloved friend. He was telling me how when he became a devotee, he's very animated when he talks. He said, Prabhu, when I was becoming a devotee, he said, I wake up, I would chant 26 to 27 rounds, Prabhu. In the mind, he's always a cheater, he's going to cheat you no matter what. And so he said, then I would start reading Bhagavatam 4 or 5, 6 hours a day, Prabhu. So, we don't get a hold of him, we'll find ourselves making a plan, and then the Maya always finds a way to make us suffer with the plan.
Yeah.
Whatever plan we make, Maya's he's gonna twist it, and
that's right.
He's gonna, like you said, you gave a nice thing. That was a great example you said about the kids. Like the mind's always embarrassing us.
Yeah.
If we follow him, we're always embarrassed.
Yeah.
We're always find ourselves in an embarrassing situation. So yeah, beautiful class. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At the event we went yesterday, I saw so many kids. The kids, they are so kind, so lovely. Especially this little girl, when she came to give some Lakshmi for the devotee because the devotee did something for her. She was so polite, a sweet little girl, like a little angel. She was so smiling. And most of them was like that. I say, wow. And I said that to the mother, and the mother was so happy, so proud. So the same thing when a person tell you, man, you know how to control his mind, man. Thank you. Thank you. All the good devotees. Ki Jai. Yeah, but then